Thank you so much for coming to
Thank you for having me.
the In My Bag series episode. First episode, physical. We're very excited. What we've done with the In My Bag series is to bring young people and just try to explore, ask questions around how they've been able to cope as
Mm.
adults and how they've been able
Adulting.
adulting and how they've been able to like navigate life experiences, especially in terms of their career.
Mm.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So just briefly introduce yourself.
Hmm. My name is Elijah Affi, creative director for Takeout Media, a media and advertising agency based in Abuja and Lagos also. Um, Engineer by training.
Ooh,
Interesting. It's
very
a fun
interesting.
fact. So yeah, engineer.
fun
I studied
fact.
communications engineering actually in school. Telecoms engineering.
Wow, in Nigeria.
Yes. Comda University.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, and I've always had a passion for storytelling. Since my first experience growing up as a child, I consumed a lot of content, just like every child, really. But for some reason, I just had a very active mind. So, coming out of engineering, I just said, "See, you know what? I'm just going to do what I want to do."
Yeah.
You know? And I began finding my way around the whole agency space. So, yeah.
So
There are a lot of things. I mean, my journey has been quite interesting. I've done a lot of businesses, failed at a lot of them, and we are here. We are where we are now.
yes, I'm very interested in how you move from engineering to communications. But before we get there, let's
Mm.
do fun stuff first.
Okay.
Give me like 3 fun facts about Elijah.
Hmm. I'm more playful than people think. First of all, let me just say that because people often there's this perception people have of me like I always look serious, and I'm like I'm the most goofy person you ever.
I find that serious people are always very goofy.
Like I mean, but do we just assume I mean, that so and I like it. It helps with the work, but really, if you come to my mind, you'll be laughing. If you leave my mind, you'll be like everything makes me laugh. Like I just think of what somebody would do. And it's like, so yeah, I can be very goofy. And another fun fact is that I don't watch football as a guy. I sleep.
That's not very weird, actually.
It's not weird as a guy
No, I
in
know a couple
Nigeria.
of people that don't watch football.
Like, do they sleep when football is played?
Yeah, they do other things.
No, like I mean, like you're trying to watch it and you're sleeping.
Yeah, I know one.
Are you serious?
One
Okay,
comes to
I thought
mind.
that was weird.
It was weird at first, and I started meeting more people that were
Eh,
like
I
that,
thought, I
and
mean,
it was no longer.
it's weird to the average Nigerian.
Yeah.
Um, I love. So what would be weird to you? Give me an example.
Mm.
Because
I
I
was
don't
going to
know.
say very serious, but you already countered that.
No, I'm not very serious. I'm not.
What's your favorite food? Please don't say what I think you want to say.
What do you think I was say?
Amala.
No,
Ah,
it's not.
okay. Anything but amala.
My favorite food. So I'm in between seasons now. So my favorite food has started changing.
Old
Uh,
age.
not old age, but I just think nowadays I'm thinking about my health more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before my favorite food was anything that had to do with plantain. So that's jollof rice, plantain, rice, plantain. But right now I'm starting to stay back. I have a sweet tooth, my God,
Okay.
and it's not good. So I found out that love relationship
Yeah.
it's not going to work for me in the long term.
Now let's move directly.
It's not going to work. I
It's
mean,
not now.
midnight, just be craving
Yeah.
posto. I mean,
What? Okay, I would have asked if everything is okay, but
mhm.
let's go straight into it.
Okay.
So, engineering. Why did you decide on engineering in the first place?
Okay, so I think I just never had career guidance.
Yeah.
And I think usually most schools now have something called guidance and counselor.
Yeah, and they do a lot of like career fairs.
Career fairs. I never had career guidance. I've always been a creative. I've always been interested in things, and I was always capable of doing whatever I really that was basically. I was not more of an art or science student. I was just someone that was inquisitive. So while I was in school, secondary school, so they told me when we were telling us to choose science or arts, they told me if I choose, it was it. I always wanted to have options. So if I chose science, I could always switch back to arts. If I chose arts,
You can't switch
I
back to
couldn't
science.
switch back to
Yeah.
science. So I was like, I don't like that limitation, so I'll choose science. So because I always felt like, I mean, if I want to change my mind later, I can,
Yeah.
right? But someone that's in arts will never be able to. So I didn't like that limitation, so I just stayed there. Then towards when you as if you've done science now, at least 3 years, senior secondary class, and then trying to switch, trying to go to uni. Funny enough, I'll tell you something weird that you would find very weird because at least for Nigeria, um, I didn't write the engineering courses in JAM.
What's an engineering courses again?
You had to do maths,
Oh,
English,
yeah.
physics, and chemistry.
Yeah.
But I did maths, English, economics, and CRS because I was scared of chemistry. Interesting. So, and I wrote, and all the universities I applied for, Covenant University and all those, I applied for economics. As a matter of fact, I got admitted to banking and finance in Bowen.
Wow.
Yes, because I've always loved numbers.
Yeah.
Thinking of it now, I think if I was given that chance, I think I would have rather read economics or law.
Yeah. Or law.
Yeah, I would have rather read it
Such
too.
large disparity.
I know, but I've always been good in numbers and
Yeah.
I've always liked business. So when I went to Covenant University and I saw that they had a course called Information Communication Engineering, I just boldly applied because my WAEC had the qualifications for
Yeah.
it, but my JAM
Jam
did
did
not.
not.
For some reason, they just ignored it. Nobody observed it. And I got the admission and I went. Even during graduation, so when they say bring back your JAM result, all those things, I was scared. I was like, who don't know now? But
Yeah, I
nobody
remember.
noticed. Nobody did anything.
I don't think private universities care that much.
They didn't care, but they do now, I think.
Yeah.
I think back then they didn't, but now I
Now
think
they are paying more
they're
attention.
paying more attention. But back then, so that's how. I think it was a thing of I was just in between, like what will I do? And I've always loved technology, so I just felt, okay, let me do it because I always felt like the art guy will never have the advantage
Yeah.
that I will have in terms
Is
of
it?
he will never be you. So the thing is, what gives me a difference now in the work that I do is my engineering analytical mind. So I'm always thinking numbers. I'm not scared of numbers, right? Because I've done it for years. So it gives me a sense of the ability to quantify what I'm giving my client. So I'm not just a typical creative. I'm a creative that also measures.
Yeah.
So
very important.
So because sometimes people just want to be creative, So I think that's something that has differentiated me because I always felt if I had done engineering, and then I came across something that happened to me in SS2, SS3. I came across a material that spoke about the fact that top CEOs of Fortune 500 companies were engineering people who did an MBA.
Now that I think about it, I'm thinking about everybody in my management staff that work in my office, and they all have engineering backgrounds and they all have an MBA.
So there's been that trend. So I saw
Yeah.
it. So I was like, so I could always switch. So
Yeah.
that mindset just was there with me because I just wanted to have that balance. It was something like I was trying to prove something to
Yeah.
myself. Like I can do
From that
engineering.
young age.
Yeah, so
Which is
I
very
started reading
interesting.
early.
Oh yeah. Early readers are they have like very open minds and
Yes, I just had I read like there's some books that people read now that I feel like they're children books because I read it as a child. Like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
I can't read that book.
But I read it as a child.
Yeah, I read some chapters in secondary school also.
So that was my own experience.
I can't pick it up now. It's just but I find that interesting because now looking at what you're doing now, information communication technology, as much as you wanted to have an option, kind of prepared you for where you are right now. And you said that you dabbled into a lot of other careers before ending up
A lot of other businesses.
Okay, which is different from the career, which is still the same in the same line as
the same line of let's say the same line of entrepreneurship, not necessarily media, because there were some that were a bit shameful. I don't think of myself more like a serial entrepreneur. I think of myself as an entrepreneur. When they didn't serial, I mean they've done many businesses, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I can think if you use that word, but I won't use it on myself.
On yourself, yeah.
I just think of myself as an entrepreneur. I don't see boundaries. I just believe that I am what I am. Please don't define me.
So what was that journey into finally starting out Takeout Media?
So Takeout Media has always existed, really. When we A matter of fact, 10 years yesterday after leaving school.
Oh.
Didn't work anywhere.
You didn't work for anybody?
No. Except NYC and IT.
Oh, so you immediately like
So,
started your own
Governor
company?
University, when you're in Governor University, I mean, I'm not doing an advert for them, but they've been a pivotal part of my journey.
Yeah.
When you're in Governor University, you study entrepreneurship for 5 years. That's because I did 5 years. So every year you're studying something in entrepreneurship development. So it was always there in my psyche, and I've always wanted to do business. Like it's not something that I was trying to do because I couldn't get a job. I had job offers from top companies, and my parents too tried to give me connect to NNPC, all this kind of thing. So I had those things, but I rejected it. And it was not as it was easy, but I just wanted to do this because I felt those other things would be boring to me. Right. So starting out, we started out with our copper alawi. Saved up myself and two of my partners, copper alawi. We just saved up and started. And what we started out with was we wanted to do taxi top advertising. That's the advertising board that you have on taxis.
Yes.
So we tried to introduce it to the market. It caught a little steam, but we found out that it was not effective in the market. People were not buying. I see some people trying to do it today. Anytime I see them, I look at them with so much pity because I know what they're going to experience. You know, like I could literally consult for them for free and tell them that this is what they're going to have because of the market. Because now what happened was this. We started with a product direction rather than a market direction.
Oh.
So when you start with a product direction, you're trying to find a market for it. But when you start with the market,
you find a product that fits
in the market, you know. So that's what happened, you know. And we had made that mistake. We saved up for a while. So I mean that mistake took us 2 years. You know, so what I mean by that mistake took us 2 years, that we spent like 9 months looking to raise money. We found out, okay, we can't raise money. Let's start doing video and photo services to raise the money for the taxi tops. So we went for the training. So it was all in survival that we started those other businesses.
Yeah.
Because we're broke. Money was running out.
How and you couldn't find funding as well. You couldn't find.
A guy promised us $20,000. Nothing happened. You know? So it's it's quite funny now, but it was not funny. You know, it was not funny. That time we're just trying. You think you're cost. You think you need to go for deliverance, but it was just our journey.
Yeah.
It was just our journey earlier. Then after that, I mean, if I tell you some of the things we did, you will laugh. Should I laugh? Should I crack your lip for a little? Or should I jump? Because
I was still going to ask what were some of the businesses that you started.
Okay, so we started doing, you know those slippers that women wear that has beads? You know those slippers? Do you know them? Yes, so what we did was this. We saw it, we liked it, but we've always been big dreamers, so we don't do anything small. So we saw it, we're like, this thing's a trend, though. Come. We don't have brands to manage. We don't have brands that want to advertise with us. We're broke. So why don't we get a lady that will do the bidding for us? And then we now created an Ankara shoe bag and said ladies could always use it as a bag carrier when they wear their high heels and change to that slipper. So we made it fashionable. We put in a lot of structure in it. As a matter of fact, it was when we made sales, we supplied for weddings and everything, but we never say it was ours. We'll say it's for one of our clients that we're trying to help, you know, and everything. Just to get that masculinity and feel good.
It's still intact.
But so yeah, I mean, so we did that for a while until when we went to ShopRite and we got a ShopRite deal to bring some thousands. And that's when we turned on us that way. You don't have the production capacity to produce thousands. You don't have to, because you know you supply first, then they'll pay you later. You don't even have the money, you know, everything. So that's how we shut down that business. Oops. So we found out, and then also we didn't have control over the production of the slippers.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have so.
And then it's like one person.
So you couldn't put standardization, you know, in the process. So we just knew that okay, this thing is just a joke. It's a hobby. Let's move on. They was there doing frames. Yeah, like picture frames. So we said, okay, you know what? We know how to design. Why don't we design inspirational frames? No, quotes were a big deal.
Yeah.
So why don't we take your social media wall and put it on your wall? So that was the mindset, you know.
But that could still be.
No, it's still working. I know people doing well with it, but it wasn't just for us.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for us. As a matter of fact, it's something that could work. I don't tell my younger sisters, yeah, you should try this thing, you will make money. You know, but it's just the way the thing. Well, we had clients at the time, but it was just a distraction. But anything we did, one of the things we always made sure we did was anything we did, we found it, like the slippers own. We had Havaianas, the big slippers brand that has done billions in dollars. We said that's what we want to be like. We always had a big vision, like
Big vision.
whatever we are doing, it seems small to you, but trust me, we are not thinking of it in a small way. I mean, that's how we're able to get. I mean, I'm sure there are still girls that are still doing that bidding stuff
Yeah.
on a small scale.
Yeah, no,
Us,
small scale.
we took it to ShopRite level. We are not joking. We're
But
not joking. That's how far we were able to drive it. So
but even with the small businesses that you have, your focus was still on starting.
that taxi top, yeah. So we're
Yes.
trying to sell and we're trying to raise money and trying to survive, really, And then I think what made us establish ourselves as an agency was when we observed that most of the times we had done for a lot of trainings in this period, learned a lot, taken a lot of online courses because we didn't have clients, so we had time on our hands. So it's not like nowadays that I'm barely trying to find time to read stuff, but we have time on our hand that time, so we could just
Yeah.
take in more knowledge. And the more we learned, the more we practiced, we now found out that okay, this particular business, we are very big on strategy. We are good at strategy, and we knew how to do videos and photos and the rest. But like, what's stopping us from becoming an agency? So we took a trip to Lagos, went to visit about 20 something agencies, trying to sell Taxi Top to them. And after visiting them, it was like a December period before a new year. And we're hoping that okay, by the new year, when deals happen, they'll put us in their marketing plan. They didn't. I was like, why can't we be the agencies ourselves? Why do we need to do that?
In come to Abuja where there's no
Do you understand?
yeah.
Where there's nobody, let's try it. Bam.
And once you start, I think that what happens, especially with Abuja, is that people look and say, how will I start taking my business all the way to Lagos when I'm here? And then they start looking around to see if there's anybody
Exactly.
within Abuja doing that same thing. And so instead of taking it all the way to Lagos,
They'll just rather work with you.
rather work with you and know where you live.
And
Where
know
to
your
come
office
and
is
drive
there.
this
And
from.
then you can always know that he's 15 minutes away.
Yeah. Ooh, the drag. As opposed to Lagos, where almost all the agencies are either in Lekki
Or
or
Ikeja.
Ikeja. See, I know my
Agency.
I know my agency positions. So what were some of the most defining moments for you?
For us, really, because I mean, it was not only me.
Yeah.
For us, it was. God,
I'm thinking about the struggle and the joy.
yeah, it's quite emotional anytime I talk about that story because, it's like I mean, there was a friend of mine that came from. It went abroad. He came back and he came to our office recently and he was asking us, "Who is your godfather?" I said, "What do you mean?" And he said like he was really angry. Like, tell us now, what's the guy really helping her, and everything. I was like, nobody is God has been helping us. We're just growing organic. I could not believe it because he knew us before he knew. And I told him, I said, see, we've grown organically. But it's not that we grew organically like maybe one person helped us. People just came along the way and just took interest.
Yeah.
And just trusted us at that particular side of our journey. Whether we deserved it or did not deserve it, they just trusted us. So that was just it really. So most of what defined us were the trainings we took, the books we read. It's never really just one thing. It was just different things coming together. So you take this one, you meet this client introduces you to this client. Like when we started working on the Cosgrove account, Cosgrove was one of our first big clients. But no, they're not big at the time.
Yeah.
But they were our first big client. Right. So that's how small it was. And we grew with them. And now right now, Cosgrove is a major success story in Abuja and we are proud to be part of that journey. So it's when we came on the accounts, there was not an account everybody would want, but at that time we came on it. Now it's an account everybody wants to go for.
And they're not
and nobody's getting it because
you guys they've trusted you guys for that.
Exactly. And we've been the one, we have institutional history. And also we've just become a family. But I mean, and that same way, because of the good work we've done there, opportunities like Touch Bank opened up, and other opportunities just kept opening up. So it's just been one step after the other, and we've also diversified into other things that we're doing currently now. So.
And I think that for me, what I find interesting about agencies is that, especially like a 360 marketing
Marketing
communications
company.
agencies that you can dabble into any aspect of communication. And communication is very, very, it's such a large space to
Yeah.
work in. And so even with the most little part of communication, you can just explore it and just like blow into it. And I think again what I find interesting with your story, which is really one of the reasons why we're doing this series, is that people think that your journey is everybody's journey is like just one straight
Mm.
line. And even for me, as a young person adulting, I'm trying I'm trying to like, grow my career. I have a lot of friends that probably feel like their life is on standstill. Right. But I see them putting in effort with like taking courses, with wanting to work with clients and wanting to just let me just do as much as I can do. Like let me just dabble it. But they're doing it well. But to them it's just like that small thing. And from your stories, like little drops of water that eventually became an ocean. That's one. And then it's like as much as you know your thing, they bring it to you, they trust you, and you actually deliver, which is the thing that
You know what I would say to a lot of people that are also from like adults and
yeah
like what you spoke about. I was privileged enough to start early,
yeah
right? So that's the fact. That's a given. I'm happy I did. So I could suffer some things earlier. It's the truth, no. I mean,
no, but it's true.
I wouldn't even wish it on just on anybody. Like, mm, Mom, I really come from poor homes, so it took a lot of sacrifice, you know. So so we had options, and we
Yeah.
had to make those sacrifices. I had periods where I couldn't change my shirt. I had to change the color. My sister is a fashion designer. I took the color. So let me change it. The color don't tear. Because of just the hustle. Like when I say sometimes, it sounds funny, but
Yeah.
that's how deep it went. I remember I went to Covenant University to people, everybody, but it is what it is. So what I would say is this: as you are dabbling, you will eventually find your rhythm.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like a dance. You eventually find your rhythm, and you find that thing that is your own main thing.
Mm.
Sometimes you might not even find the main thing yet. You'll find the main thing that will lead to the main thing. Like me, I
Yeah.
don't believe I've found the main thing yet. I still believe that I'm getting to the main thing that will lead to the
Mm.
main thing. So it's a continuous journey. The major thing is to make sure you don't stop moving.
Yeah.
Because the more you keep moving,
The more.
you eventually find your rhythm, and then to not be like, you sabi this dance. So no, really, you don't know the dance. You've just been playing enough. So like now, my eyes have been sharpened to a lot of the way the market works. So I can easily see a person and tells me an idea, and I'm saying, this is what it is that you face with it. And people are like, no, this is. I'm like, no, I'm telling you. And eventually they go and do it and they face it, and I'm like, see, I'm not a god. It's just that I've been around this terrain for a
Yeah.
while, and also because of the kind of work that I do, which is a form of business consulting.
Yeah. You've
I've
met a lot of
been a
people.
lot of like across segments, real
Yeah.
estate, banking,
Mm.
FMCG, anyone. I've worked with them, so I understand the way these guys make decisions. So you just be on I will just tell it to Dangote. I was like, have you ever spoken to Dangote? Like, do you know their decision making
Yeah.
process? Do you know there's certain things they can't buy from you until the next financial year? So that kind of a thing. So when you understand the realities of this place,
Yeah.
then you started growing. But unless you make those mistakes,
Yeah.
sometimes, But then I tell people that if you have mentors, it will save you from torment. So please have a mentor that will guide you. So it will save you a lot of unnecessary mistakes.
So congratulations on Picture Award nomination.
This picture I want to thank you.
Were you excited when you got it? Of course you're excited.
Yeah. So it was something I've never really cared about awards.
Yeah.
So one of our teammates, Miraculous, he's actually the content lead in Takeout Media. He actually was the one that told us that, see, let's put in our work for these things, and everything. I was like, I'm not so big on these things. Are you sure? I said, okay, see, I said, yeah, you know what? Anything you want to do, I'll support you. Like whatever you need, just let me know. So you come and say, sir, we need this. I said, okay. Take. So, sir, we need this person's number. They need to verify that we did the work for them. I said, okay. Take. So for me, I've never been an awards person. But when it now came, like when the nomination came, I was like, okay. So so
Yeah.
I can't brag that it's me. I mean, we have a large team of people who
Yeah.
are putting in a lot of work.
You need to be proud because like Picture Award is not a big deal. I think it's one of like the biggest.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a big deal, but I think for me, I was proud when it came,
Yeah,
but not
not the first.
necessarily like I was the one that was put in the work
Yeah,
to get it. It was more. It was a team effort,
yeah,
So I was just proud of the team and how much growth we've been able to
yeah.
achieve. Without being necessarily a Lagos agency.
There's that.
So
That which was what I found very interesting when I saw the Picture
it's now
Award.
that we are establishing an office in Lagos.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
and
now.
it's
As
now
a
like
matter of fact,
competition.
last week when I told you, I think that one of you guys I spoke
Yeah,
to you, I was Lagos. Yeah, yes. So it's now that, but we've had Lagos clients.
yeah.
We've had Lagos clients, but it's now that we are establishing an office in Lagos. So because of the volume of business that we want to now capture,
Yeah.
we think it would be good for us to have them.
Do you think there's never necessary to have Lagos client? Like I get that it means that expansion is very, very
It's
important.
imminent, yeah.
Yeah, but do you find that now that you're moving to Lagos, that it's now more like the competition is now going to be more intense?
The thing is this: to every business person, somebody's always coming for your head. So you need to. It sounds harsh, but it's the fact. So you need to always be thinking ahead, like how can I
Mm.
always make a move,
Yeah,
that would also expand my reach. I can't just say, oh, Abuja, Abuja. Lagos, one of the advantages of Lagos is that they understand the agency structure, they
yeah,
understand the need.
yeah,
So in Abuja, you have a lot of education to do. I've
yeah.
seen a lot of agencies trying to come to Abuja to I kind of assume that we are eating one money that they want to be part of, and I'm like, welcome,
Come and
come and enter,
see.
you will understand that it's not just as direct
Yeah.
as you might think. So for me, that's why I'm making those moves. And we have moves to other places, Accra, Dubai,
But
UK,
everybody wants to go to Ghana now.
you
It
know.
looks like
So,
Ghana
I
is
mean, and I'm hearing their cost of registration is crazy now, so I don't know, man. But let's see. But Dubai, surely, UK, surely, New York, surely. I don't think I do yet.
yet. Hmm. But if
Maybe
you
when I
have
have money from there, then I'll like it.
so what marketing three let's bring it down to three marketing advice you have for a brand.
What kind of brand? What size?
Oh god. This is how you know that he's an agent, he works in an agency because he's all those questions.
Like, what I mean is,
But let's say a growing brand.
a growing brand. Am I talking to young people? Am I
You're
talking
talking
to
to young people.
okay. So young people don't necessarily need like I'm sure they are mostly having their businesses doing like maybe 10 to 100 million around that range.
Mm.
So they're doing 10 to 100 million really. What you need to
10 to 100 million. These are high class people, but yeah.
10 to 100 million. No, no, no,
I know, but like
no,
I'm just saying, even what about businesses that haven't gotten to that
ah,
capacity?
okay. Those ones are startups now. No,
Oh,
not even startups.
they're not even startups
They are
because
not
startups
startups.
are
Startups
making that
make big
money.
money.
Yeah,
Ah, I don't know. Those ones
upcoming
are
startups.
my MSMEs. But no, but okay. I think general principles still apply. Number one is understanding your market. Like, what are the real demands within your market? Not what you think customer wants, what you have seen and know that the customer, what you need to know. So that's where I would say research. Research is the foundation of every marketing effort.
Yeah.
That is engaging with the customer, knowing what they want. You know. Second marketing advice I would give them is plan for scale.
Yeah.
Plan for scale. I remember I said marketing, it didn't say come, so I'm speaking to the business generally. So plan for scale. Like, you need to plan for scale because if not, you're going to remain small. And there's no beauty in being small. Please. There's no beauty in being small. You need to plan for scale, and that will mean you organizing your packaging very well, putting standards within your product segment so that you're able to reach more people and not only you, they are the one doing all the manufacturing and the rest. And number three, what I would say is that hmm, man, this is small businesses. Let me see what's
That will
relevant
help
to them.
them get to start
Get
up.
to start up. Be open to collaborations and partnerships.
Hmm.
Be open to collaborations and partnerships because they help you cut out the time that you'd have struggled to get to a certain level. I think it was Isaac Newton that said, we've always seen further because we stand on the shoulders of those who have gone ahead of us.
There was something that you said earlier on that I really wanted us to talk about, maybe
Okay.
as to close up. You talked about being studying engineering and how you've always been a measurement person, and how that has been more helpful for you right now. So being in the what do you call it, in the marketing and communication space, how has measurement helped you?
So okay, you want to clarify?
Yeah, because I find that I think in one of the in the back series we interviewed some Fermi from Kari Wise, and I think I asked him the same question because I find that a lot of people in the industry are just so interested in we need to reach and reach and reach and engage and awareness and all of those things, but they're not really big on measuring it. And when you even ask them how do you measure, they will just go through the corners to answer you. But he said a lot of things about measurement and how, it's what you gather from data and measuring that now helps you build even better strategies. So I want to hear your own point of view
Okay,
about
so measurement,
it.
measurement and analysis has really become easier because of technology.
Yeah.
But the whole marketing effort, there are some things that are not easily measurable.
Yeah, true.
That's
I
the
was
fact.
going to ask that.
There are some things that are not measurable. It's almost like, for example, what example would I use? Okay, so there was a man I heard about that said there was a man that was reported to his pastor by his wife, and what was the problem? He said that she said her husband does not love her, and they called the man, and the man was like, the pastor was like, you don't love your wife anymore. I said, I love her now. I said, ah, and she said, what do you call it? That you've never told her you love her before. And then he said that ever since he said it, he has not changed his mind. So that if he had changed his mind,
Yeah, you tell us.
yeah, exactly. So all I'm trying to say is that you can't really quantify how many times he will say that would necessarily be enough.
Yeah.
But it's when she responds that it's okay that you know that it's okay. It's almost like when you put salt in food. They say that I put it till my ancestors say it's all right, my
Yeah,
child.
yes.
you know, so but it sounds funny, but what I'm trying to say is that there are certain things that are intangibles,
Yeah.
and human beings are moved by those intangibles. That's the fact. But besides that, there's that which data gives us.
Yeah.
Now, data can tell you impressions, can tell you the number of reach, can tell you the number of unique visitors, that have come across the content. And then also, too, on your back end, you're able to see information that your, what do you call it, your distributors are giving you. Maybe, for example, if you're in the FMCG space, your distributors are giving you, is there more demand in the market? Have you been able to make more sales? Has your production capacity increased because of the demand that's been in the market? Then also, because there's qualitative and there's quantitative data.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the experiences of people too with your product, you're able to get it, get feedback. Sometimes those negative feedback is actually the benefit of the campaign because now you have something that you didn't know before and you can tweak things and change things to adjust with what do you call it? Like, I mean, there's a brand that they always talk about how fast their network is and everything, but people just keep making fun of them. That's enough in detail to tell you that these guys are not,
Yeah.
you know. So that background just made me know that to every output or to every input there should be an output.
Yeah.
And once I know that there's input and there's output, there should also be feedback. It's a system that we have in engineering. So there's input, there's a system, there's output, and then there is feedback. So that feedback is where you talk about data. So I've always thought about it like that. Like, okay, if I'm putting out any content, there should be a feedback mechanism in place to be able to help me document what people are saying, to document how well it resonated with people, document who it impacted or who it didn't, and to see whether it's really delivering my result. And when it comes back, when feedback comes back, feedback is supposed to affect input.
Yeah.
And then that's how you keep building and keep building and keep building, and it becomes a loop that never ends.
I like what you said about feedback because people always talk. if they enjoy something, they would say that
They'll
they
talk
enjoy
about
it.
it, yeah.
If they don't, they will also say that they don't
Exactly.
enjoy it. So yeah, feedback, feedback. That's something that we said we're going to take, because I know we do it a lot where we're like we want to hear, do social listening and hear what people
That's it.
are saying about us. But I don't think that like people talk about. I know that day when I talked to Fermi, he spoke about social listening clues,
Mm.
and just how important they are in getting like feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's you
Mm.
saying it again. It's like emphasis, like pay attention to that. So really, this is thank you so much. This has been
Thank
very
you.
enlightening. Just one last thing.
Okay.
I know I said one last thing the other time, but really, this one is the last.
Yeah, not like Fast and Furious. You know, they always say one last drive.
And now we have F9.
I'm like, yeah.
One last what now we're not even talking advice, marketing advice or brand advice. Now we're talking life advice for young people trying to navigate this.
Especially in these times, you know.
Oh,
everything.
in this Nigerian times where inflation is just a bit.
So I think I was talking in the car while coming with one of my colleagues, and I told him I said I'm very passionate about solving this unemployment issue.
Yeah.
Because I know that our greatest resources are people. But for some reason, people have bought into this scarcity mindset. And the moment there is a scarcity mindset, you can't do anything after that. It will become, you will be paralyzed. Because in your mind, you just believe that it's not enough. There is not enough to go around. There is enough wealth to go around. As a matter of fact, all those numbers we see, it's not well documented. Where did they get these stats from? Who got the data? You understand? They try, but there's a lot of money moving. To come to this place today, I spent money, you know, and I paid somebody money, and someone, you know, so it's always it's called currency because it flows, you know. So I would say this: the world has changed very fast. All that we've always known is not all that there is. But they call it the fourth industrial revolution. I think people should begin to arm themselves for that revolution in terms of picking up the required skills and knowledge that is relevant today. Don't sitting down with the whole idea, formal idea of having a degree, you know, because, and the second thing is this, no one is coming to save you. You're your own superhero. No one is coming to save you. You're your own superhero. Nobody is coming from anywhere. The only person that was coming before was Jesus. And we're not here again. So I'm just saying, like, it's not coming again. The next one is the rapture. But I mean, but I'm just trying to say that nobody is coming to save you from that particular situation. You have to make up and save yourself. You know, and I think the more people understand this, they should begin to stand up and fight for their dreams because their life depends on it. You know, because see, there's a whole global opportunity. I have a friend who works in Nigeria and works remotely for a company in Canada. They pay him about $3,000 or $4,000 a month. Usually, you will not get that, but he has the skills that he requires, so they are willing to pay him. And he's in Nigeria here, eating that dollar is like 500 or something. So that's like about 2 something million. And he's not leaving his house.
The more the dollar is increasing, the more his salary
is earning. So people should open up their minds to new way of thinking, new opportunities, because they are there, they are available. They are available. Don't let anyone sell you scarcity. If it's not available in Nigeria, it's available somewhere else.
And you can get it from here.
And you can even get it virtually.
I think I was reading Ezikoko Naira life story where this guy, I'm so inspired. Even just thinking about it, like the guy, he's a product manager and he works 3 jobs.
Okay.
And one job pays him $2,500, another pays him $3,500, and another one pays him $1,500 and $7,500. So cumulatively in a month, he's earning at least $12,000 in a month, and he's living in Nigeria. And he says that one of the salary goes into savings, he doesn't touch it. Another one goes into his wife's account, he doesn't touch it. So basically, he's surviving on paying rent, surviving in Nigeria with just one part, and it's not the biggest, it's not the largest salary that he's surviving on. And I read that story like twice, and I'm just like,
And his wife is still working.
yes.
Oh, wow.
I read that story like twice, and I was
Hmm.
like if you can get it, like it's possible for any other young person in Nigeria to be able to get it. So, like what the story you just shared, the advice you just gave, just reminded me of that story, and it's very very interesting. Thank you so much
Thank you very much
for coming to
okay,
the In My Bag series. We're very excited to have you, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that people that are watching will take out a lot of things from it, especially if you're in the marketing and communication space. Even if you are not, just know that you're gonna
we share some things about business.
yes, a lot of business tips too. So yes, thank you so much, Eliza.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me.